everyone. I am sure that you guys thought you would never see me again. I might have thought that too, but I was just sitting here reading, and I thought, why not go ahead and do a podcast? And this is no practice, no preparation, nothing. I just decided I'm gonna go ahead and do a podcast. So I look a little rough because it's Friday, but yeah. So we're just gonna see what happens. I do apologize for the long hiatus that I had, but life just got overwhelming. There was just so much going on with adding the third kid and getting back into theater and just figuring out everything. Something had to go, and it ended up that it was the podcast. But now I really feel like I'm back to being in a good place, just mentally and emotionally and everything. So everything's kind of relaxed a little bit. The youngest is now a year and a half. He's walking and talking and doing a lot on his own, and somehow that makes it all easier. And I'm just sitting on my floor. I was watching a podcast a few days ago, and the speaker for that was just sitting on her floor, just chatting, and I thought I can do that. I didn't think I could clear a space in the living room or the sunroom where I normally podcast, because it's Friday and the kids were having a lot of fun, so it was a mess. And I looked for a minute and I thought, well, should I clean it up? And I said, no, I'm just going to sit on my floor because in here it's clean, and it's comfortable. So we're going to do that. And today I am testing out for the first day some new hearing aids, which I love because you can't even see them. You can see that little wire right there. Anyways, I'm testing out these new hearing aids, and so far I like them. I'm a little bit overwhelmed at the extra sound. Like even the fan is kind of bothering me, but so I'm getting used to that. So we'll figure that out too while we're figuring out everything else. So anyways, let me start over. If you are brand new, my name is Betsy. And this is QuillPen's Quips, Knitting and More podcast. It's been over a year since my last one. I don't even know what number I'm on. I'll check that before I post it. Anyways, you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as QuillPen. And I'm probably most active on the Instagram for QuillPen. But Ravelry, I keep updated pretty well. So if you're interested in what I've been making in the last year, you can find it all there. There is a group for this podcast on Ravelry and a special Instagram for new episode releases and stuff like that. I also have a website, which is quillpensquips.com, and you can find the show notes from this episode and all previous episodes if I manage to do that today. Not promising for today or for this episode. I kind of want to do it and then post it, and then if I have time to do the show notes, I will. Okay, so I'm not even going to separate into segments. I don't even remember my order of segments. That is how little I prepared. So I'm just kind of looking around at what I brought to show you. Some things I have just finished making. This I probably can't talk too much about this. This sweater. This was a test knit, but during the testing process, the designer found a lot of mistakes and ended up pulling the pattern and sending it off to be tech edited, and I think she'll be doing another test knit. So I went ahead and sort of figured out how to get past the mistakes from my own desire for the sweater and made it anyway. So it's finished, but I don't have a name for it, and it's not available because it's not yet ready or officially released. But there's this little, I love this detail on the sleeve. So soon, hopefully, it will not be so hot and it will cool off some so that I can wear something like this. But I was happy to have it finished. This I made out of Malabrigo. I forget the colorway. I'm sure I have it written down somewhere. And I haven't put this on Ravelry because it's not available yet, but I finished that. And right after I finished that, I started the exposure top from Julie Knits in Paris that she designed to go along with the Tits Out collective thing that was done, that happened. So I bought yarn from that. This is from Yarn Inc. And oh, I just forgot the name of the colorway. Anyways, but this is it. Let me make sure that's the front. Yes, this is the front. So I love it. And that's the bottom. So I will post the colorway. When I find the colorway, I'll add that. But I love the yarn and I love the pattern and I love this. I haven't finished, you can see I still have to sew those in, but I'm gonna love wearing it. And actually it's good kind of weather for it now since it's still so hot. This is really light. But so I finished that. So then on my needles right now is a cowl. It's called Knitting in the Library cowl. And I forget who that's by, but I'm using all of the mystery, like the murder mystery mini skeins from last year's summer yarn club that I was involved in. So I had 10 skeins. The pattern only calls for, I think maybe 5 colorways, 4 or 5. But I just decided that I want to use those murder mystery colors, so I'm just doing them all in one big thing. So it's going to be a really long cowl, but I'm okay with that. So this is it. So this is just ribbing, and then each section has a different pattern. So there's 4 sections, and you then repeat the sections if you want. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing color 1 as ribbing, then color 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm doing those 4 again. So it'll be 6, 7, 8, 9, and then color 10 will be the ribbing on the other end. So this is what I've done. And then this will be next, followed by that, and then followed by these 2. So that's what I'm doing right now. And next will be the Stephen West Mystery Knit-Along Shawl for 2018. I just bought the yarn this morning. It was just released this morning. The pre-made kits from Stephen and Penelope, and then the pattern itself was released today. I'm using a lot of different signs for the word released, if you're paying attention. I can't decide which one fits best, so I'm kind of using opened and available and sent and advertised and different signs. If you're paying attention to that, that's why. Because it wasn't really released, like it wasn't let go. It was advertised, it was sent, it was opened. I don't know. Anyway, so I got the yarn kit that I wanted. Last year I tried and I was a little bit too late and missed out on my first choice and got like my third choice. But today I was ready and I got that first choice and I'm very excited about it. So when that arrives, I'll show it to you too. And that begins next month in October is the first clue. Also, I haven't bought a lot of yarn since Maryland. If you follow my Instagram, you probably saw what I got in Maryland for Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival. But I did buy, a friend was traveling and saw some Brew City yarns, which I love, and she knows I love them. And they have stopped selling, I think they've stopped selling like individually. They do kind of wholesale now. Anyways, so she sent me a picture and I said, oh, get that one. So one skein since Maryland, I think. So this is Brew City Yarns, and this is their premium draft sock. Oh, the places. And it looks like that, looks like the, the hot air balloon. It's just fun and colorful. I'm feeling, obviously, I am feeling all the colors right now in my knitting. It's just, and she also gave me this little cute yarn ball. It's made of wire. You can't really tell, but it's cute. So that was a fun surprise along with my yarn. But that's really it for the knitting part. As far as my life, so if you're only interested in the knitting, feel free to end it now. Thank you for watching, and I will do my best to improve content next time, whenever next time may be. But thank you for watching. If you're still here, I have been very busy with theater, really. I've been doing a lot of theater. Let me see. About when I stopped the podcast before, I think I was in a show. I did that one, followed that right up with another one. Took a little bit of a break for basketball season, followed it up with 2 more community theater shows. Then, over the summer, I was involved with a few different performance opportunities through one of our local colleges that has a MFA playwriting program. And so they have some different really cool events, and I was able to be involved with that for the first time this year, and that was really exciting. So I did a 24-hour theater project where within 24 hours, 6 different playwrights came up with 6 different 10-minute plays, and we were cast and rehearsed and performed all from beginning of writing until end of performance, all within 24 hours. And it was so much fun. And then they had a playwrights festival where 8 playwrights had plays that they had written prior to this event chosen, and they got to cast people, and we rehearsed. We had up to 7 hours of rehearsal. You could not exceed 7 hours, and actors could only be involved in 2 at the most. So I was cast in 2 different ones of those, and there was one full weekend of those 8 plays being performed, and they were staged readings, so we didn't have to memorize, but we were moving around and acting it out, and sort of minimal costumes and things like that. And that was a really cool experience. I had heard about it before, but never been able to be involved, and so this year was my first time for that, and I really, really enjoyed it. So that was my summer, and then right now I'm doing a show called The Laramie Project. It's a really powerful story. I highly recommend that you look up what it's about. It's based on a true story, and it's the 20-year anniversary of the events that happened in the play. And it's just a really powerful story, and I'm really proud to be a part of it and to be involved. And I'm proud to be with the cast that we have. It's a big cast, but everyone, I feel like, is really committing to this project and really making it honest and real. And I just really appreciate being a part of this kind of art that can really touch people. So that's been cool. And then next month in October, I've just been added to a cast. They had someone drop out and pulled me in for a really fun, interesting concept of a show in October. So I can tell you more about that as it gets closer to that. But so I've been busy with theater, and I've been loving every minute of it. I've been really glad to get back into it and sort of feel myself again, and to have that outlet, just to kind of, separate a little bit from mommyhood and everything chaos at home and just the normal everyday, but to have that artistic expression. So that's been good. I've also been doing some reading. I know you all are shocked. Right now I'm getting back into Castle Driving Heat. I don't even know what number this is now, but 4, 5, 6. This might be 7 in the Nikki Heat series. So I'm reading that. I'm also reading Girl Wash Your Face, and there's a lot of conflicting, or I guess just some controversy about this book in a lot of my social circles, which is fine. Some people hate it, some people love it. I'm doing it because part of my team from my doTERRA oil business is doing this as sort of a book club and sort of gearing it towards doing business and how to relate the book topics to us as business women and moms and wives and doing all these different things. And I do tend to take everything I read, knowing that the writers are human. They're not perfect. They might not be the most amazingly brilliant people in the world. And I also take everything and filter it through my own worldview and my own beliefs and what I know to be true from my own experiences and, my own spirit. So I don't just read a book and say, that is gospel truth now. I follow everything this woman says. So I'm not like being like, everyone in the world must read this book. I'm also not saying she's crazy, she doesn't know what she's talking about, it's a lot of lies. I'm just saying I'm finding it helpful and very interesting. And there's so far already been a few tips that I've really enjoyed, that I've already been implementing in my life and with my kids. And that's been a positive experience. So far I'm liking it. I'm reading it really slowly to go along with the book club. And then I just got this from the library. The Woman Who Smashed Codes. And it's a true story of Elizabeth Smith. And she and her husband, although I don't see his, I'm not very far into it. Anyways, the two of them basically just started what we know to be code breaking and code making. During the wars, they were very important. And that's kind of why no one's ever heard of her, is because all of her files during World War II were sealed. And she was, she swore to never speak of what she did. And it's only been relatively recently that those files were opened, and that her personal notebooks and stuff have been found. So far, I'm only 2 chapters in, and I am really fascinated. So I'm excited to read more of that. So that's what I'm reading. I think that's about it that I'm going to say today. I have a feeling at least one of my boys is going to wake up from naps soon. So I should probably finish this. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are still here, again, I'm sorry that I look like a mess. And I am sorry that this was not very polished and prepared and structured. But that's me sometimes. So I hope you all have a great day and a great weekend, and happy knitting. Bye.